Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I bet you thought you was coming to watch a gun review. Not today. I come on here to gripe a little bit. And bear with me. So sitting here watching YouTube videos, and I'm telling you, I get so sick and tired of these professional YouTubers. You know, the ones I'm talking about, the great big channels that are sponsored by anybody under the sun. They make a living doing YouTube, so they don't care what they tell you. Some of them don't. And they'll tell you whatever they're paid to tell you. I get so sick and tired. One issue that bothers me is the 1911. Let me first go on record by saying, if you've got a 9mm or a 10mm or anything other than a 45 ACP, then you don't have a true 1911. I don't care which size. There was three sizes. There was the government model, there was the commander version, and the officer's model. That's it, three. All of which were chambered in 45 ACP. So nowadays, you can get the 1911s chambered in just about any caliber you'd like, I'm sure, but specifically this 9mm. Now look, I'm not here to knock anybody's weapon, any maker, any cartridge. 9mm is a great round for what it's good for. I have some. I've got 10mm. But imagine going to the auction over here, the classic auto auction, and you've been saving up, and you want to go buy you a Corvette Stingray. Okay? Now, Stingray was the sport package, I guess you would say, whatever they call it, of the Corvette. It was a sportier version. So now you get over there and you find one, and the auctioneer tells you, well, this car is an original Stingray. But now the 350 engine in it, or 327, whatever it had, the Chevy V8 engine that was in it, blew up, and we didn't have another one, so we put a Chevy 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder in the car. Let's say 4-cylinder. Now, when you close the hood, well, we changed the exhaust where it would sound like a V8. It drives down the road, as long as the hood's closed, it looks like a true Corvette Stingray. It might even sound like it, and you may never have an issue out of it. It may serve you well, but it's not a true Corvette Stingray, because the Corvette Stingray and Corvettes in general were built around the heart and soul of that vehicle, and that is the Chevy V8 engine. Same with 1911s. The 1911 handgun, just showing you mine. The cartridge come along before the firearm. I could give you this long history of the development of the 45 ACP. Let's just say they were working, John Moses Browning invented the 45 ACP cartridge and the 1911. Okay, he was working on a 41 when the United States military said, look, we need a better cartridge. They had 38 long Colts. They were weak and underpowered, but they had saw what the 45 long Colt would do. Far superior. So they said the minimum needs to be a 45 caliber round. That means the diameter of the projectile. So many companies went to work. John Browning he changed the 41 and went to and reconstructed it to a 45 ACP, okay? Once it was born, they needed a gun. Many companies submitted firearms that would fire the 45 ACP cartridge. And they did tests on them over years, you know, the military did. And it come down to two companies, and that was Savage and Colt, okay? So they run a 2-day test on the Savage pistols. I forget what model it is. And the Colt 1911. And I believe it was the M1900 or M1909 or something. Anyway, this was before 1911. Like 1905 is when they made the 45 ACP cartridge. 1909 is when they did the testing, I believe. But anyway, out of those two was Savage and Colt. They fired 6,000 rounds in 2 days through those two prototypes. And in the midst of firing, the guns would heat up, and they would just dip them in water to cool them off, pick them up, shake them out, and go back to firing. The Savage had 36 or 37 failures out of those 6,000 rounds, which ain't nothing to sneeze at. That was far more reliable than most guns are today. Well, the Colt had 0, so they won the contract, and they adopted the Colt's design, the prototype, 2 years later in 1911. Okay, and the rest is history. So, and there was a couple of variants, model designations like the M1911, M1911-A1, but they were still true 45 caliber 1911s. So nowadays these guys are taking this gun and they're making it 9mm and it's blowing up. And hey, I'm all for it. If you can get more rounds into a gun platform you like, fine. But why? I mean, if you wanted to carry 9mm, there's far better choices to carry than the 1911 platform. Number one, 1911 platform's heavy. I don't care what you make it out of. It's big. It's not for everybody. The controls on it make it more of a intermediate to experienced gun owner type of firearm. It's not for beginners, so it's the easy way to say that. You have to train around the safety. You have to train around cutting that safety off when you pull that gun. That's locked, that's off. You have to train. Without that, the gun don't fire. So it's complex, it can be. So, but they've taken the heart and soul out of that Corvette and replaced it with a 4-cylinder. It still looks like a 1911. It's identical in appearance and function. But the heart of the 1911 is the 45 ACP cartridge. And I know there's far superior rounds today. Look, in today's markets, you guys will sit and say, well, with today's advanced technology and bullets, the 9mm is just as good or if not better than the 1911 and the 40 and so on and so on. That would be fine if manufacturers just only focused on the 9mm, but they didn't. They improved the 40 and the 45 right along with the 9mm. So that argument is void. It's bull crap. The 40, you can find offerings that are more powerful than the 45 in some of the premium ammunition. However, this platform in a 40 is not a true 1911. You got to understand, guys, a true 1911 is a 45 ACP. It don't matter to me what you call your gun. You can call it Baby. You can call that son of a bitch Nancy. You can call it Bill, or whatever you want to call it. And you professionals are who I'm pointing this video at. Stop calling your 9mm a 1911. It's not. In all intents and purposes, it may be a fine firearm. I'm not saying it ain't. Staccatos, that's one comes in a $3,000 gun. The Springfield Prodigy, $1,000 9mm. Look, if you want a 9mm, my suggestion to you is a Glock 19. It's a far better and more reliable handgun than those mega dollar 9mm 1911s. As far as its use and and hell, and the way it's made and its reliability. So I'll get off my soapbox now, but that just burns my ass up. Look, I understand it's cool to have a 1911 and you want to have a 1911 and it functions just like a 1911. I'm all for it. I'm not knocking it. Y'all don't take it the wrong way, but it's not a 1911. It may even say 1911. Sure, it's marketing bullshit for you guys that ain't got no better sense to go out here and pay that kind of money for those guns, but you get to stay in the 9mm cartridge designation because either you don't have enough training, you don't know, or you're just a wuss, and the recoil hurts your vagina. Well, whatever, I don't care. Just quit calling it a 1911. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, by the way, let's put God back first. Thank you.